For anyone that's been following me for a little bit, I had these on last summer, and they are bed-lined black. And not that it looks bad because I have a blue Jeep, but thanks to this stuff here, some Duplicolor Perfect Match PBT for my Jeep, I am going to attempt to paint these the same color as my Jeep, and I've always loved that look, so that's what we're gonna do. I've tested out the paint on this little chip here. See if you can see that in the light. Come on. And I've held it up to my Jeep, and it is astonishingly close. So gonna be using some Rust-Oleum self-etching primer because I am going to be taking these down to bare metal with the use of some flat discs. These are 120 grit, so I'm gonna be really careful not to actually take away like material from the doors. And then so we got the Duplicolor Perfect Match PBT, PB7, Patriot Blue Metallic, and then the top coat, clear coat finish, whatever you want to call it, for the same product. So I'm going to start by getting both doors stripped down. I'm going to try and take as much of the hardware off as I can, maybe even the weather stripping, and then maybe do a little taping. Not that it really matters because you're never going to see the inside. And that's what we're doing today, so here we go. Alright, well, my camera died, so this will be brought to you by iPhone. So for those that want to do a project like this, or replace the lock or replace the handle or whatever, I will show you real quick what all this linkage is. So to get the key tumbler out, it's this guy right here, and this little clip just pulls away. So let's see if I can do that. It pops off, and then you lift this up. It should come out. There we go. Put that aside. And then this clip here, that thing along the bottom, it's kind of difficult, but it slides out. There you go. And then you have to spin it so that these little grooves will line up, and it just comes out. Now for the door latch, it's the same idea. The clip is black, so it's harder to see. Right there, that pops down. You lift this up, and then these two Torx screws right here, and then it drops right out. And there is a little seal along it, so be careful you don't lose that because you're gonna want that. So there it goes, nice and simple. And I'm gonna get back to it. I didn't show taking the door panels off the inside of the doors because it's super easy. Screw there, two down there, and there's a big like clippy thing there. And then there's the two posts that go on top. And there's some clips in the back that you wanna make sure that you don't break. And it looks like there's a screw there. And then you just kind of slowly work it up. These pins in the back are a pain in the butt to pop out. Okay, so now that I have all the hardware off of the door, I don't even think I'm going to bother really taping anything because all this crap is going to come off, so I have a nice smooth surface. And like I said in the beginning, I'm going to be using these flap wheels. These are 120 grit, it's under my finger there. So hopefully, as long as I don't stay in one spot for too long and I go quick around the edges, I think we'll be in good shape. I did do a test on one of the old hinges that I'm not using anymore, and it worked good. So I don't know, I'm gonna go set myself up because this paint makes a mess. So I'm gonna go set up a big tarp somewhere, probably outside, and get to work. Alright, so my camera battery is charged again, so I can use this guy again, much better. So back doors. Got most of the paint off. This is what it looks like. This is down to the bare metal. And this primer is from the factory. And it looks like pretty bad, but it's super duper smooth when you run your hand over it. Doing this type of stuff definitely needs to be done outside because it makes a fine powder. And that stuff gets everywhere. Alright, so now that I have them inside, most of the bed liner is stripped off. Actually, all of the bed liner is stripped off. The next thing I need to do is clean all of the dust off of like the backside so I can stick some tape to it, and it's always nice to have clean doors. So yeah, so taping and really just cleaning. And I want to get some primer on here as ASAP before they start rusting, because up here in the Northeast everything rusts and it sucks. So I'm gonna get to that, and I'm not looking forward to it. Alright, so all taped up all the way around. Hit it with another coat of sandpaper, wipe it down again, and it's time to get going. So as you can see, it's raining, and it has been raining for literally the past, like, since when I started filming this video, and then probably the whole 2 weeks after that, I think up until now. It's just been raining and humid and gross, and so I don't want to paint my doors when the humidity is like 100%. I think I might try and do it today, but I'm gonna try and do it indoors. Since I'm doing, primer, paint, clear, and going through the whole process and taking my time with it, I'd rather not rush just this one part and then mess up the whole thing. It's just how I roll. So I think I'm gonna try and finish, or at least lay some color onto the doors today, and then save the clear coat for a nice day, and I'll do that outside. And okay, let's put some paint on these doors. Okay, so I was just reading the back of the Duplicolor cans, and it says that the humidity should be under 80% and in between 60 degrees and 95 degrees. So I think we'll be pretty good. That's actually pretty forgiving for some paint. So I think we're gonna be okay, especially inside. I got the heat on, if you can see it over there. So that should help. And as long as I do it inside and no rain drips on it or anything, I think I'll be okay. So I'm gonna get started. I hope all my prep work pays off, because I'm about to lay the paint on, lay the color on, and that is it. And then the clear. So let's see, I think I'm gonna do 3 to 4 coats of actually I don't know what it says. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna apply 2 to 3 coats of the Duplicolor Perfect Match, and then I'm gonna wait a half hour and do probably the same 2 to 3 coats with the clear, and that'll be that. So here we go. No time like the present to lay some color. Okay, so we got the first coat down. Kinda scary. I know once I put more on and they dry, it'll seem more even, but it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this. So 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna apply the next coat, and then yeah. Okay, so color is laid down. From what I can tell in this lighting, they look pretty good. So gotta wait a half hour, and then on to the clear coat. Okay, so a full half an hour has gone by. The paint still kind of seems like you can see the lines when I went across. But I'm just gonna follow the instructions and go ahead and lay on some clear coat. 2 to 3 coats of this. I'm gonna do 2 really light ones and then 1 final heavy one. So here goes nothing, I guess. This is the final moments. One thing I'm noticing with these Duplicolor cans is that once the paint starts to get low inside, it'll come out in like splotches, I guess. It'll shoot out air and then a lot of paint and then air and then a lot of paint. So I would recommend, if you're doing something like this, getting more paint than you need, so that way you can switch out cans quicker without getting all the way to the bottom. Because if you're doing something like I am, where you're looking at a big area, it might make some sort of difference. I guess we're gonna have to find out. But if you're doing a small area and a small touch-up like you're supposed to do with this stuff, then it's probably fine. But something to keep in mind if you're doing something like this. So I think I have to wait 48 hours for these to dry so I can polish or compound them. It doesn't say when it's dry to the touch, so I'm gonna let them sit here, and then we'll see what happens. Get them back together, throw them on the Jeep, see how they look. Alright, so I finally got my doors done and on. And in this lighting, it's kind of hard to tell. You can tell here, there's a little bit of a difference. These are almost like a flat blue. And I did actually put some compound and polish on them, and it didn't really work. So yeah, there's a solid comparison. So all in all, if I were to do it again, I think what I did wrong was I didn't put enough paint on. They say to do it in light coats, but I would just go super heavy. Maybe light on the first one and then just really lay it on there, so there's plenty to, like if you were to wet sand, you have plenty of thickness to mess around with. But all in all, it's alright. It's better than the black bed liner that was on there. So I'm just gonna run it, and maybe I'll redo them next winter, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Alright, I will catch you guys in the next one. Got some big stuff coming up and I'm super excited about it, so I'll talk to you then.